What's going on, everyone? This is Cedric Skysetti.
I'm Becky.
And today we're going to be answering your questions that you sent to us through Instagram. If you guys are new to this channel, we are a half Korean couple based here in Seoul, South Korea, and this channel is about our relationship as an interracial, intraracial couple, and also about Korean culture. So if that's something you're into, definitely hit that subscribe button. Now, we got a lot of questions from you guys. We won't be able to cover all of them, but we're gonna try to get through as many as we can. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started.
The first question is, were you guys in past relationships that were interracial?
Ooh. I already know yours. Yours is easy.
What's yours?
Yes. I was in, let me see. I dated, actually.
Oh, you don't remember? You dated so many women, you can't keep track of how many there were? Is that what it was?
Pretty much. I mean, I haven't dated like a lot of girls. We're talking like serious relationships. I mean, I was in a relationship with some white girls before and a full Korean girl. I had some non-official relationships though with like many different girls of different backgrounds.
How many girls?
This is
did
like
you
high
date?
school stuff, like high school, you know what I mean? Just like, you know, flirting and talking. We used to call it talking back in the day.
Like you just talked, but you weren't dating.
No, we weren't officially dating.
Well, how far did it go?
I mean, we
Like
would
you
just like talk on the phone and stuff. This is before like the common person had cell phones.
You would ask them out on dates and go for dates?
Nah, we just like talk on the phone, hang out at school. But yeah, that's the answer to the question, okay? So moving on.
I officially dated a Korean guy here in Korea before I met you. And then that was it. I've never been in a serious other relationships. But I was talking with some guys
Probably
in
like
school.
a lot of dudes.
No, they were talking to me, but I wasn't talking back. I mean, I went on a handful of dates, like a couple white guys, Filipino, Indonesian, yeah, but a couple Korean. But that's it. Yeah. I didn't really date much, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now you got some flavor.
How do you balance your personal and professional lives?
We don't.
We have no lives.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that question is referring to both of us together or maybe separate. I don't know. But I guess we could lump it all into one. So Becky and I, we do a lot of the same things. We do have a business that we do together, which is like more production, filmmaking. And then now we started to get into making music as well. So we're venturing into the professional aspect of that. So we do a lot of things professionally together.
But it doesn't feel like work.
Nah, it doesn't. It doesn't. But it can easily cross the lines of like us spending time together while we're working. Because we're always together, like all the time.
Don't sound so upset.
Yeah, so...
But I mean, like, we'll be hanging out and editing, right? Or listening to music together and then being like, oh, I like this song. Let's consider that.
Yeah.
Or when we're going places, even we're going out on dates, we go film and take photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of crossover, which is something I will say for people who are working in similar fields, I do think it's very, very important to have a separate time just for your personal romantic dating.
That's true. That's something that we can get a little bit better at, I think. Yeah.
I do think that's really key because it becomes very easy to just become work partners unless you draw that line.
Right, especially as busy as we are with the things that we do, because we're like every day just
And even we do separate work things too.
Right.
You know? The next one is, what do you think of aegyo?
I love it.
No, you don't.
Okay, so it depends. There's a spectrum of aegyo.
There's a spectrum.
There is a spectrum, all right? So I fall on the...
Middle high.
No, I fall on the lower side.
Don't lie, you love aegyo.
No.
You do.
Okay, so when I was younger, I used to really, really love aegyo.
Like how much?
Like the super... Well, now I look at it, it's like very extra and like cringy. But I used to really like that. Yeah, you can ask like some of my old friends.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Like I used to watch K-pop music videos like a long time ago, and I just really loved the girl groups that were like so into aegyo.
Like bubblegum pink and pigtails and like, oppa. not like that.
Yeah, I'm a little ashamed to admit that now, but it's the truth. All right?
You still like that.
Yeah. So, but now that I'm older, I feel like it's more. I don't want to call it annoying, just in case some of you guys do it out there. But yeah, I don't know. It's taken a long time for me to answer the question, but basically, I like it, but I like a little bit of it.
Look, egg yolk is like seasoning, okay? You can't put too much or you're gonna ruin the dish. But you need it if you want to win people over.
Right.
Right?
That's true. Hey, if you guys want an egg yolk how-to video, let us know, and then Becky will do it.
Is interracial dating common in Korea?
Not. I guess it depends on what you mean by common.
Yeah.
Common as in, let's just say no. Generally, no, but it has been increasing over the years. And probably more so in the city areas, it's a little bit more common where there are more foreigners. But outside of that, you probably won't really see a lot of interracial couples.
This is a difficult question because I think you're going to see a lot of interracial dating, yes, in the city and with younger people, especially it's becoming more common. We mentioned this when we were walking outside. We were like, wow, we're seeing so many interracial couples, which I didn't see, growing up. I don't have specific stats, but there is, I don't want to call them mail order brides, but there have been moments in Korean history where you're going to see a lot of brides coming from Japan or Southeast Asia or maybe Ukraine coming to Korea hoping for a better life and finding a Korean husband.
Right.
So this dynamic also exists.
Yeah, that's very true. And that's probably not even the direction that you were thinking when you were asking that question, but that is a thing here. But I would say generally no, because it is a very homogenous country.
Yeah, but still very homogenous.
Yeah, so the upper 90-something% of people here are Korean, so Koreans are gonna marry each other.
Right. Does religion appear to be the source of much strife and mixed relationships? This is a good question.
Ooh, I'm gonna answer that, then I'm gonna toss it to you, because I feel like you've talked to a lot of people where that was the case. But obviously it depends on the religion. It depends on what the belief system is, and not only the belief system, but how much it is practiced by the two sides or the family of the two sides. In families where it's not really practiced as much, it may not be as big of an issue, or where the belief system isn't super focused on, I guess, you having to marry within the same religion. Then it's not that much of an issue compared to certain religions and certain people who practice those religions. But that would be my guess. I mean, Korea is, it's known to have, Buddhist roots, but I wouldn't say there are a lot of practicing Buddhists running around. Also there's a lot of heavy emphasis on Catholicism and also Christianity. But again, the amount of people that practice it, I don't know.
So this question I feel is doubled, honestly, because I think we cannot lump religion with mixed culture or religion necessarily with interracial marriage, right? Though it is true that depending on different countries or parts of the world, you may be more prone to practicing a certain religion. But I just want to make that clear, first off. And then secondly, I think it just comes down to ultimately your values, because a certain religion might dictate certain rituals or expectations on a family level. But if you as an individual carry a certain set of values that matches this other person's set of values, I think it's still possible that religion will not be a source of strife. But I will tell you that I experienced that myself, actually, even within here in Korea. And I won't go into too much detail, but because there were different factions, I guess, in my religion and his religion, even though it was technically the same. And so that actually caused a big strife point. So I think even if you call yourself the same religion, say I'm Muslim and he's Muslim, if you carry a different sect or a different set of internal values, I think that strife will still exist.
Right. Yeah, and that's all across the board. It doesn't matter what race or ethnic group you're part of. You know what I mean? So I think anyone can deal with that if you're coming from two different religious backgrounds or worldviews or paradigms, whatever you want to call it.
Right. I agree with that. So it doesn't necessarily have to do with interracial marriages. Are there any funny cultural differences between you guys? Between you and me?
Yeah. Well, we're like half the same culture, if that makes sense. Well, you can't be like half a culture. I mean,
No.
you can.
You can't. No.
I don't know.
You can't. It's not fractional.
Right.
I will tell you some things.
What?
For me, what surprises a lot are your grooming habits.
Really?
Yeah, because your hair texture, for one, is something I'm just not used to. So you use a lot of products in your hair. Like you have a hair masks and like shampoos and conditioners and
Gotta
creams
keep it
and
moisturized,
waxes.
yeah.
Right, so that's the thing, because I'm always suffering from having like too much moisture in my hair, right? But
Dang,
you're
let me
always
get some of that.
you're always putting stuff in your hair. So that to me was always so surprising. And how curly it is. And you say like, don't mess up my hair because you're worried it's gonna get like afro-y.
Yeah,
But
well, like frizzy. You know what I mean?
like frizzy,
Yeah.
but I'm like, what? That's crazy. Yeah, because that never happens.
Yeah. But I used to rock a
Interesting.
fro back in the day. So
I love your
I
hair.
love fros.
Yeah. So that's one thing.
Okay. I kind of commented on this before, but sometimes it's like it's like some of your random little outbursts and your
Like,
dancing.
I wouldn't know. I don't know if you call it dancing. It's more like
When you get excited, you just
stomping around with
Yeah.
rhythm.
yeah, or not. It's
Or
just
lack
really
of.
weird. It's just very like it's not. It's like lacking a little bit of swag.
It's just this outburst of energy.
Yeah.
I can control how it comes out of me.
I'll admit it's cute, but it's just like, man, that's different. Like I didn't grow up around that. You know what I mean?
I will tell you this. I don't think many people did. The only people who have grown up around that would be my family.
Yeah, maybe it's just you.
I don't think this is
I don't know
a
if it's a cultural
worldwide
thing.
Yeah. I think this is just my idiosyncrasy.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
That would be something. Oh, and then like certain terms you use.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like how you said like holler at you.
Yeah,
right?
holla at you.
See, that's something I never
Holla
heard.
at you, girl.
I never heard that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And then
Man.
and you say like girl and boo and joke. You make
Or
jokes.
like sometimes I'd be like, I'll call somebody stupid because I think they're funny.
That was a big one.
Like we'll be watching something
Yeah.
and then like a comedian or something or someone that's just funny. I'm like, man, that dude's so stupid.
I thought the first time I heard this, first couple times, I thought he was insulting him. And I was like, what? If you think he's that dumb, why are you watching him?
But if you guys know, you know. When you say, oh man, you being stupid or like, you're so stupid. Sometimes it's like, it's actually a compliment. It's like, you're funny.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, see, yeah, that's something I didn't get it at all. Do you go to foreigner service or Korean church?
Foreigner service. I do go to church, but I go to foreigner church here in Korea, which there are like foreigner churches where it's English speaking.
That's the better way to say it, I think,
Yeah.
than foreigner church.
Yeah, that sounds weird. It's like the alien church.
Yeah,
for them
English
aliens.
speaking church services.
Yeah. I mean, because obviously it's a more comfortable language, and I feel like the people that are there, I can relate to.
I used to go to Korean church, and it's just a different vibe. Even I went to like the Korean youth group, and we would just like hang out. But again, it's just a very different vibe
Talking about here in Korea? Mm-hmm. Oh.
here in Korea. So I used to do that before I came to the church that I go now. And it's good. It's nice. It's just different, I think.
Yeah, yeah. It's a different culture. I
very
mean, because
different,
I've actually gone to a lot of Korean churches throughout my life, honestly. And so there is a difference. It's not a bad thing. It's just
different.
It's just different,
Like
yeah.
Korean church is different, Korean American church is different, and then English EM, like English ministry in Korean churches is different.
yeah. But yeah, we go to English speaking service.
Yeah, because I think it's just easier to understand. I'm gonna put two questions in one, where it says, do you have qualms about a mixed race kid growing in a Korean school system? And then would you raise kids in Korea, US, or somewhere else?
Oh, this is a purely hypothetical question.
Yeah, guys, don't get ideas.
I don't know. I'm going to answer from a very limited experience standpoint, okay? Because one, I don't have kids. And two, I don't know what it's like to be a parent to put your kids through any of the school systems, you know, here or the US. I could see myself raising my kids in both areas. In the States, of course, depending on where it is. And I could see myself raising kids here. The little caveat to what I just said is, I think if I were to raise my kids here, I would want them to be in like an international school type of setting instead of the regular public school system. Because as many of you guys know, and if you don't, Korea is very, very heavy on focusing on education, getting kids through not only like grade school, but getting them to college, and then it's very competitive as well. So kids have to really study, and they, oh my gosh, yeah, it's so much pressure. So much pressure for kids. And the way the system is sort of set up here is, once you get to college, one, you want to get into a good college because that's going to increase your chances of getting into a good job or good career.
And quote unquote good.
Right. And not only that, but like if you, like, let's just say you declare a major in college, a lot of times it's really hard to deviate and change your career path. So you sort of have to choose what you want to focus on early on.
Yeah.
And, you know, as we know, especially in the West, when you're 20, even 25, heck, even 30, sometimes you don't know what you want to do with your life. And so I don't want to put my kids under that sort of system. I'd rather my kids, you know, be in an environment where they're speaking English, but they're multilingual as well. Just by default, living in Korea, they'll be able to speak Korean. And also being around other kids of different backgrounds, nationalities, different cultures, things like that. So I could see myself doing that, but you know, I'm gonna need some cash, you know, because it's not cheap to send them to international schools. I need to be in a position where I can do whatever I want to do, you know, financially, where like I can take my kids, you know, here, there, anywhere, take them on little, you know, trips out of the countries, experience other cultures, you know, for a couple weeks at a time. I want to be able to have the funds and the ability to do that, to I don't know, I want to be their primary educator. That makes sense. So that's my answer. I mean, we can go deeper. There's so many routes and nuances to the answer to that question, not just with education, but raising kids here culturally. How would they develop and things like that. But maybe we can leave that for a separate video.
I honestly don't think I can open that right now. Yeah, because it's just very like layered and nuanced. And I think people can really get in arms when it comes to raising kids. You know, so I'm not going to get into it here.
Yeah. Was that your answer?
Yeah.
Is that your cop-out? Yeah, but let me just say that I think you can make it work. I'll just answer for me. I think I would be able to make it work here or the United States. It just really, it depends on how you want to set up your life and your life with the kids. I don't think one's necessarily better than the other. So that's my answer for you.
If people want to furthermore discuss this hypothetical situation, I'll be open to that.
Yeah, for sure. And for those of you guys that have kids that have raised them in the States or in Korea, let us know how your experience has been. Again, we're coming from not having been experienced, just sort of I guess just
as individuals who have seen children with our eyes. That's the extent.
Yeah, pretty much. And knowing people who have children here and there.
Yeah, let us know. So I hope you guys liked that. And if you have more questions or you have other things you're curious about, you can always leave it in the comments below. And we'll take a look at that and decide if we can make a video surrounding those questions that you leave us. Make sure to follow us on all the socials, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, and if you're interested in supporting us and what we do, we really appreciate that for one. And two, you can head over to our Patreon page and join the Sky Crew. Don't forget to share this video with friends who you think might be interested. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Remember to always seize the day. Peace.